Okay.
Okay, so we're here taking a look at space that Oddly Studios is moving into, a new training institute that we're working on. And I just wanted to point out a few things about the building itself. We've been here a little over a year and a half now, I think, and it's been really good. I like this building. It's predominantly a fashion building, so you have like a lot of different fashion industry here. It is slowly starting to see a little bit more high-tech as well. So on the other side here we have Reactive Pictures, which does like motion graphics, post work, that kind of thing. And a friend of mine has been working there. And what I like about this building is that it's fully accessible, which is very important to us. We don't want anyone being restricted from coming in to see what we do and to learn. So we have 3 elevators, as well as freight elevator and another utility elevator that we can use for moving things in and out, and that's really convenient. And so we're on the 2nd floor right now, so you can see some of the other folks that we'll be sharing the floor with. And as I was mentioning, it's a lot of fashion basically, and they'll set up their spaces to sort of simulate their showrooms. Distributors will come in and see, how their clothing, their fashions can look inside of showrooms, and make a choice, to make a large purchase or not. So we're a little bit different, but as I say, this side of the building here is slowly starting to fill up with tech industries a little bit, but Oddly's kind of leading the way there. So this is where we will be, and you can see that, from that corner all the way down to here will be our space. And as you can see, this was also fashion showroom, so it's got the large open windows. We're going to put up some frosting just to increase the privacy a little bit, and I think that's going to look really nice. So let's go on inside here. So this is one entrance, and there's 2 entrances because this space was actually 2 spaces that we are sort of turning into one with a partition in between. So you can see the workmen have started doing a bit of work here. We have a really nice track lighting system that gives a really soft, even lighting. But we are doing a bit of work in here. This column is actually smaller inside. We don't really need these mirrors here given that it's not going to be fashion showroom anymore. So we're pulling those out to make a little bit more room. Aside from that, it's a bit of infrastructure. We're putting in the high-speed internet cabling, more electrical outlets, so that we can have more of the graphic workstations set up inside of here. So moving along, back here we have office area. It's kind of nice. Has windows all the way across, let in some good sunlight. So this will be where I'm going to set up. And then we have a second area here. Now, what I want to do with this space is put in an actual recording sound booth. Because if you take a look inside here, it's about the right size for a sound recording area. So what we would do essentially is we would put down 2 layers of high-density vinyl sound blocking, cover that over, and then put acoustic tiling on top of that. So basically that sort of sandwich keeps sound from escaping or coming into the space. So to accomplish that, we'll come in and put like a 2x4 framing inside of here. We'll essentially have like a room inside of the room kind of idea. And then what happens is that the dual layers of sound blocking material prevent sound from coming in or out, but it doesn't necessarily stop echo from happening. And that's where the acoustic tiling comes in. This is actually some stuff we learned from our friends at Wide Awake Studio, who have been doing, that, but on a much bigger scale. But they give us a little bit of information on how we can do that. And then the last thing we would do, you can see that we have this nice good sized window that looks into what'll be my office, and we're going to put a second window in front of that, you put the window in at like an 8 to 10 degree incline so that any sound that isn't trapped by the acoustic tiling that's maybe going to bounce off of the window will bounce downwards and away from any of your recording equipment. So that's going to be really cool because we're quite into audio engineering, and I would really like to offer that in the training center. And so people would have a chance to work with like an actual real professional audio recording studio. So that's going to be cool. So the other significant space inside of here is this area. So there's a lot of work being done in here still. This is all being refreshed. We're going to put in like some lounge area inside of here. But what I like about this space is that it's common in between the studio and the training area. So depending upon, how we have the doors open and closed, this can be in addition to the training area or to the studio space, depending on what's going on. Or it can just be used as a lounge area as well. So if we continue on, and again, nice big windows, should be nice and bright in here. It's a little gloomy today. So this area is the additional space that we've taken on for the training area, which I'm super excited about. This is something I wanted to do for years, and it's finally going to happen. Right now, this space is segmented a little bit, but we're going to pull down these walls here, and the result will be an area that is about 1,000 feet. And as I say, with the possibility that we can open up the other space back there for additional room if we need it. So, same idea. I'm really concerned with the audio quality inside of this area. I want it to be a very pleasant experience for people who come here. So what we're going to do is we're tearing up all of this carpeting here. I'm not a big fan of carpeting. And the same way that we would do in the audio room, we're going to put down that high density vinyl sound blocking under the floor. Then we're going to run it up this wall, the other wall, when this partition has come down, and then drywall over top of that again. So that will provide the sound blocking, and then again we'll put up like decorative acoustic tiling along the side of the walls, and it should lead to a really good level of audio quality. So if someone is in here instructing a group of people, they're going to have no problem at all in hearing them, and it should be a very, very nice experience for them. Aside from that, fluorescent lighting will go. Replace it with track lighting to match what's being done in the other area. One thing we're thinking of doing, we're getting a contractor to quote on, is getting rid of the drop tile ceiling, because there's actually a couple of more feet of space inside of there, and some of the other people in the building have done that. It looks quite nice, and it adds to the vertical height of the room. One thing that I'm happy about is that there's a bit of natural lighting inside of here. So you can kind of picture when that wall is gone and the other wall is gone, that and this is all one entire open space with a nice hardwood flooring, and the soundproofing and acoustic engineering is all in place, proper lighting system, and a little bit of natural daylight. It's going to be really an ideal space for training. So that's kind of what we're thinking of doing, and it's exciting. We're in the middle of it now, and the work is going to ramp up after today, so hopefully I'll be able to show an update in another couple of weeks. But I just thought that's a nice little preview of how things are going and what we're planning on doing.